Man.
She has no idea she's sitting on gold. She doesn't know that if she owns a life insurance policy of $100,000 or more, she can sell all or part of it to Coventry for cash, even a term policy. Even a term policy? Even a term!
Oh, jeez.
We actually turn the volume on. We can actually turn the volume down.
Turns north on New Jersey Avenue. West on D Street. And then south on South Capitol Street. This footage of the suspect on South Capitol Street shows the person setting down their backpack, which is believed to contain one of the bombs at this time. The suspect appears to put on a pair of glasses and scan the area, standing on tiptoes.
Brian Cole.
Before picking up the backpack, turning around, and heading back the way they came on South Capitol Street. After reaching the corner of D Street, the suspect turns around again, and this time walks south all the way down South Capitol Street to a bench outside the Democratic National Committee headquarters building. Here we see the suspects sit on the bench for a few minutes. They do not place the bomb at this time. The suspect then walks east on Ivy Street, turns north on New Jersey Avenue, and then pauses near the corner of D Street before retracing their steps back to the DNC bench where the first bomb is placed.
Hey, Paul, I wasn't coming on, but this is big news here, isn't it? We got the bomber. Just coming out.
This footage shows the suspect sitting on the DNC bench before placing the first bomb.
Just came out. I told you if I get something big, I'll be on. If I have time. This is interesting. Wow. Yeah, JR just came.
Here we see the suspect place the bomb at approximately 7:54 p.m.
Big news.
From there, the person walks north on South Capitol Street.
And I got an hour video. That lady from Australia is talking about
D Street. South on New Jersey Avenue. Northeast on North Carolina Avenue, when we lose video coverage of the suspect at approximately 8 p.m. 8 minutes later, at about 8:08 p.m., we pick the suspect back up on camera heading north on 2nd Street. The suspect walks west on C Street, enters an alley that leads to Rumsey Court, and then walks west on Rumsey Court. This footage shows the suspect pass between the RNC and the Capitol Hill Club, holding the backpack out to the side. The person continues between the RNC and the Capitol Hill Club, then continues north on 1st Street, east on C Street, back into the alley toward Rumsey Court, back onto Rumsey Court, they placed the second pipe bomb at approximately 8:16 p.m. The suspect then turns back onto Rumsey Court, walking east until the person is last seen on camera at approximately 8:18 p.m., wearing the backpack on their shoulders. The bomb is believed to have been placed shortly before this video, based on how the suspect is carrying the backpack. We still believe there is someone out there who has information they may not have realized was significant until now. We're asking you to come forward to share that information with the FBI. Please call the FBI.
Big news.
All right, so I got some new information while that was going on. Apparently, the New York Post is saying the individual is 30 years old. 30 years old. 30 years old.
Do you need $300, $500, or even $1,000 fast?
Most people out there were saying it was a 33-year-old named Brian Cole, and it appears the suspect is Brian Cole from Woodbridge, Virginia. Woodbridge, Virginia. Now, I am looking right now, and I have found a Brian J. Cole from Woodbridge, Virginia. Interesting. Interesting here. And it's interesting because they are calling him Brian J. Cole from Woodbridge, 30 years old, and the person that I just said, Brian J. Cole from Woodbridge, 30 years old, I found one, has a father with the exact same name. That's about 20 years old. Same name. Aha. Aha. Let me see if I can find a. All right, so father has social media. We're looking. We're trying to get a photo. We want to get a photo of this guy. We want to get a photo of this guy. I'm scouring the net right now. I mean, there's only one Brian Cole from Woodbridge, and he's 30 years old. And the database says.
And we're back.
Brian Cole there. Brian J. Cole. The 30-year-old that lives in Woodbridge, because the New York Post is saying the suspect, 30-year-old Brian Cole of Woodbridge, Virginia. Brian Cole Jr. Now there's a Brian.
You'll have 3 times the impact without your gaming.
I see Fox is had a headline, a 2-minute headline. They got that out, so a lot of people haven't heard yet.
Jerome Cole. There's a Brian Jerome Cole. And this Brian Jerome Cole, senior, too. Let's see here. See what we can find. Any photos of the Coles.
4 years we've been waiting.
Let's try to find out who these people are. Brian Jerome Cole. Is he African American? Jerome? Brian Jerome Cole? I got another clip here up in the pipeline about the arrest. I want to share this while I start digging in on Brian Jerome Cole. That has a father with the same name, Woodbridge, matches 30 years old. So I'm going to dig in on this. I got a clip here I want to play so we can try to understand who these people are. Who is the January 5th pipe bomber? Brian Cole, 30 years old, Woodbridge.
So back with the Fox News alert. Listen up. The FBI is arresting the person suspected
just said
of planting
that.
pipe bombs
That's
outside
funny.
the RNC and DNC's headquarters in
He's
Washington
putting it
back
out.
in 2021. That the night before the Capitol riots, January 6th. David Spunt joins us live from D.C. with the latest. David.
Well, Brian, this is a big one. This is almost 5 years in the making. You remember this happened on January 5th, 2021, the night before the Capitol was under attack on January 6th, 2021. A person who was completely covered, gloves, you name it, placed pipe bombs outside committee headquarters. Name or anything else about the person at this time. We're told that will likely change as the day moves on, but we can say this was a male that was living in the Northern Virginia area outside of Washington, D.C., and this arrest was made by the FBI and other federal authorities here within the last hour or 90 minutes or so. Just this past October, the FBI put out planting these pipe bombs on this bench outside the RNC and then the DNC. Now, this was, again, the night before attack. Now, according to authorities, the suspect, they believe, was 5'7", using some technology where they could measure based on the video. The person wore a hooded sweatshirt, glasses, and gloves. We'll see if that rings true once we get an identity. Agents say that these bombs, Brian, were placed between 7:30 and 8:30 at night. It's important to note the bombs did not detonate, but they were viable and discovered the next day. Over the past almost 5 years, agents visited 1,200 homes, businesses, conducted more than 1,000 interviews, reviewed approximately 39,000 video files, going through 600 tips or so. And there was a reward, everyone, for $500,000 leading to this arrest. Of course, that'll be a question we're expecting to hear from authorities later today involved in this investigation to see if someone did indeed tip off authorities and may be eligible for that $500,000 reward. So a lot of questions. We want to know the name. We want to know much more about this. But this is something that's been plaguing Washington, D.C. and many across the country for almost 5 years now, guys.
I'm looking at FBI.gov. And just one other fact about this individual. He was wearing Nike Air Max Speed Turf shoes. They're black and gray with yellow Nike logos. There are fewer than 25,000 pairs of these shoes that were sold over a 3-year period. So it's these little details that can make the breakthrough in a case. Unclear if that was the detail, but those are the kinds of things these investigators were looking at.
That's exactly right. And the FBI did put some video It was a computer image of a 360-degree view of those Nikes on their website. And we've done countless stories over the last almost 5 years showing those. And that, yes, that was a rare shoe. But it was difficult for authorities, and we're obviously going to learn a lot more. And I think there was some frustration. This is something that spanned the FBI under Christopher Wray, now Kash Patel. When Director Patel and Deputy Director Dan Bongino came on board earlier this year, they talked about this case openly and said that they wanted to find out who this person was. Bongino, in fact, said when he was a private citizen on his podcast before he came into the FBI, he believed that it was an inside job. We want to see who this person is. We want to know what the connections are. We just know this was a male that was living in Northern Virginia, taken into custody in the last hour or so. And we're going to be getting some of those updates from authorities a little bit later today. And we suspect we'll hear from Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, maybe the Deputy FBI Director Bongino, and others.
This I found on
David, Brian and I
Telegram.
had a source a few months back that told us that they were closing this investigation. Shortly after that, they released the imaging. There's really not much in the imaging that they released. Do you have any idea from your sources what turned this investigation to an arrest?
We want to know the answer to that. We don't know specifically, but you're right. We've heard the same thing with our sources, Lawrence, that they have been slowly closing in over time on somebody. The question is, could it have been the $500,000 reward money? We know that via sources that this person had been watched for several days, which is typical from, the FBI or other agents, marshals, to watch someone before they go in and make an arrest. And they made their arrest. And it's so important that these members of law enforcement can do what they need to do. And these arrests don't get botched at all.
I'm going to play that lady. I'm going to try to get that hour in, so I don't have to play it tonight.
And when Walls was asked about this on another network this weekend, he didn't take responsibility for it. Instead, he played the race card. I mean, we might as well call Minnesota Mogadishu at this point, still. And it raises the question, where does the Department of Justice under Joe Biden expose this?
This is all I'm going to play is this. This is an hour. Actually, an hour and 17 minutes.
Bad hair day. Yes, I was just saying I was having a bad hair day, so I do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is fantastic. Ben, yeah, it should be a fantastic Friday. I was just trying to think. I think I broke down tremendous Thursday. So this is a late Wednesday for some of you, and of course a tremendous Thursday for those of us in the Southern Hemisphere. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, this is the Q&A you've been waiting for.
Well, this might be big, Starfire.
There's so much going on. It was fairly quiet there for a 24-hour period. And then, of course, we saw many bits of news coming in overnight. One of the ones that I would like to focus on very quickly while everyone's coming up and getting ready to listen to their questions is the 5th of December, the Flare Network announcements. The reason I focus on Flare, just so that people understand the importance of Flare Network, this is part of the new quantum system that, of course, brings together everything on the blockchains. So it's like a building block or a bridge that brings everything together. It's also connected to their native token is called Songbird, the bird that sings, so to speak. So there's many, many acronyms in all of this, but just know that Flare Network, of course, are making an announcement on the 5th of December, and we look forward to seeing what transpires out of that one. The other one I want to bring to people's attention, although this is not the crypto channel, of course, those of you are in the digital asset channel. We will get over there at some point to talk about, of course, this next one. It's called X-Ray, or Seeing Inside of You. This is an actual token or a network that's having a major upgrade, of course, into Stellar. This begins Protocol 25. How many more protocols do we have to go through, ladies and gentlemen? But it's a very important one as well. So if you wanted to know more about that, certainly pop over to our digital asset group as well. So Greece have gone digital, made it mandatory. This is very, very important to understand. This is not about taking over your sovereignty. This is not about you personally, ladies and gentlemen. It's about making sure that the corrupt system is no longer corrupt. This is why we go digital. You don't have to like it, but this is the change that we needed to have to minimise the corruption within the system. Of course, we saw Vietnam, Chinese going over and using QR codes today, starting in Vietnam to pay for their tourist things over there as well. So there's multitudes of things that are going on, some things we don't like, but let's talk about the positive things that I'm actually seeing. We did get that IMF report come out, as I promised you it would come out on the 1st and 2nd. It came out on the 3rd. I think it was the 2nd, but published on the 3rd. That IMF report that you've just seen in the channel is relevant to, of course, understanding. We hear it so often about how we have what we call shadow governments and things like that as well. So it's certainly indicating about the caretaker government and things like that as well. So we should touch on that one a little bit more. So they're caretaker governments that we have right now until the quantum system / blockchain incorporates the quantum voting system. So here's my point with the whole digital ID that people are still struggling with. Understand this: if you want your vote to count, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to have to identify yourself so you can vote in the new quantum system and make your vote count. That's my point on that one. Wow. There is the good and the bad to all of this.
Hang on, guys. I want to go back on this here story.
So we're going to give you an update here.
Here we go. It's all coming out,
Starfire. We're giving you a live update. And
I got in before you did.
Hold on a second. I just saw something else I want to mention. Maybe. Give me a moment here. 5.9 earthquake near Dayton, Nevada. Wow, that just happened. Guys, this near Carson City. There was a 5.9 earthquake near Carson City, Nevada. This just happened.
Wow.
It says, I think it's 7 minutes ago. Look at that. Right? Because UTC now, one of our viewers mentioned this. Thanks for mentioning it. And I just checked and it was like, I just saw this. Yeah, so this was 7 minutes ago. 7 minutes ago, a 5.9 earthquake near Carson City, Nevada. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. Some of our viewers saying 5.9 is not that big. No, 5.9 is pretty big. 5.9 is pretty big, especially for something near Nevada. So I respectfully disagree with people saying 5.9 is not that big. No, for this low.
So that's an update.
Does not exist. It doesn't exist, ladies and gentlemen. You need to get past the digital ID. You are now in a quantum system. As of the 22nd of November, you are part of a quantum system. The digital ID is still there for
What do
those
you guys think of
who
her
are
so
still
far?
going to hold on to the thought that their
She's always
government is
good.
still controlling them. Okay? So let it go and accept what it is. There is good and there is bad involved in it. Yes. Does it still pull my heartstrings? Yes. But if you want your education system to be changed, it is now quantum. You have a quantum voting system, a quantum education system, your quantum ID. Everyone needs to be identified for the sole purpose for the lack of corruption. The reason they have increase in their airports is for illegal aliens. So you either want aliens or you don't want aliens in your country. So there's certain things, ladies and gentlemen, that we have to start thinking this about logically, okay? And if you were going into someone else's country, they're going to do the same thing. It's a level playing field, which brings me to the level playing field. Let's talk about Stellar Network before we get into the Q&A. The Stellar Network was always that network that was designed by the people for the people. This is your one-to-one level.
Clara, yeah, so I wasn't coming on, but I have time till I have to do something. It was breaking news on a bomber, JRL, and the other guy came on, and then this lady had us an hour and 20. I want to play this today because that was her Friday this morning. So that's all I'm going to do. There's this one here. It's big news.
Level playing field. It also brought me up whilst I was having my dinner about the explanation that I need to give to you. What if this revaluation was more not just about the currencies, but also about your frequencies and about having a level playing field? The in-country rates that we often talk about or focus on are for those in the citizens in that country. The level playing field always stuck with me. But what if, ladies and gentlemen, it is one-to-one? But you're not happy about that because you're focusing on all these gurus are saying it's going to be $3.47. What if it's not? What if it is the level playing field that DJT has incorporated to us for many, many years? And it's not about DJT. You don't have to like him or anything like that. What I'm saying is he's part of the implementation or the plan to put together. So just another little perspective. So as we ground ourselves a little bit more, because the hype always builds, and I hear it from all these gurus all the time, and I just go, ooh, what if it's not what you are saying? Because my banking contacts are saying it's not a delay. It's not a delay. So the banking update that I got yesterday was simply to say that there is, it's fluid. There is movement in the actual markets. So they're seeing more and more countries and currencies coming on into onto their screen. So things are still fluid. Things are still moving. So there is still no indicator as to the timing of the actual so-called release that you are all expecting and waiting for. So not to put a damper on what you may or may not have heard from other people. As I said, yeah, I don't do that. I think focus on the fundamentals. And boy, was there a lot of fundamentals that came through overnight as well. We also, too, we're seeing many, many blackouts. Very interesting. We're seeing blackouts in certain areas here in Australia. There was a massive blackout the other day and had 17,000 outages in one state. 17, you couldn't make it up, ladies and gentlemen. But understand there's certain outages, and there's outages going on in Cuba. There's outages going on everywhere. I think the big outage, of course, for the reflection of the so-called EBS or EAS would be, of course, that being in America. But we're certainly having our own EASs and emergencies or emergency alert systems are going off in every country. I've seen this for many, many years. I've said, logistically speaking, I think the focus will be on the states. That brings me, of course, to one last note before I open it up for Q&A. One of the notes I've got down here is that there was a little undertaker / caretaker. Well, let's go back to that one, what we touched on before. So there's a fantastic article that I will drop about understanding the caretaker governments in Iraq. This is also through many, many countries across the world. But the undertaker, take under. Yeah, DJT uses quite a lot of comms, so to speak. Regardless of, like I said, whether you follow the comms or not is irrelevant. But the word undertaker, reverse it and said taking under. So he's the guy that we look forward to seeing and hearing and speaking of, because this is taking down or placing under the ground, so to speak. So the undertaker, you've got to love it, ladies and gentlemen. So, but this is not about me today. Of course, this is all about you, ladies and gentlemen. So unmute yourselves, put your hand up, and let's get this Q&A on the roll. So, who just jumps up straight away? Let's go to Kiwi, Crypto Kiwi. There's someone that we haven't spoken to before. So let's have a listen to Crypto Kiwi. Crypto Kiwi, I've just allowed you to speak, so just unmute yourself, and then, of course, then we'll get to Ingrid. Oh, it's a bit of a lag. Ingrid. Kiwi, Crypto Kiwi. Let's try that again. Crypto Kiwi. Ingrid, would you like to unmute yourself? Ingrid Arthur. Nobody wants to talk to me today. I know Line of God will. Line of God, you're up. You know the routine.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Oh,
do you want?
Good, thank you.
Hang on, Ingrid. I'll hang up for you and wait for you to speak, and I'll come in after you.
Line of God. Line of God. She knows the rules.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know what to do, so yeah, thank you.
That's all right.
Hi, Mel. I thank you so much for everything you do for us. You know, you're just an angel, and you know we love you so much. I love listening to all your talks and your information. But I know you talk about, this is a bit personal for my husband, but I know you talk about the med beds, and I know they're in Brisbane. And yeah, we've just had a disastrous they've discovered that he's got prostate cancer and it's aggressive. And we believe in everything that you say, and we've been following natural things for so long. It's just one of these things that has come up, and we know we're doing natural, but there's also the other side of it as well, that they want to reduce the hormones to shrink it all because they can't operate at the moment. And I just wondered if you would be able to help in any way with knowing where they are or in Brisbane, please.
I certainly can. I'm
sorry to get emotional.
No, you don't. No, it breaks my heart too. Don't worry, love. I'm helping a few people in the background as well, and
we haven't even had the jab. We didn't have the jab.
Yeah, I know. Oh, geez.
Sorry.
So no, I mean we do this with love and graciousness. So I'll PM you all of those details. I collected them just the other day for someone else. And
I heard you say that. Yeah,
that to you too.
So how do I know? I don't know how to work all the system. I listen to you all the time.
You and I can. Yeah, that's right. We'll talk privately about that, and for sure.
You know how to get. You know how to get in touch with me, do you?
I certainly do. So I'll message you. I normally do the first one. I normally do a video, so you know that it isn't actually me that you're talking to, or a voice message and things like that as well. So you'll see a private message come up sometime after the show, okay? And then we can go through the process.
And that will be in Telegram, will it? Or no, just somewhere different?
Yes, it will. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's quite okay, my darling.
Thank you,
That's
Mel.
okay. That's all right, darling.
talk to you. Thanks.
Send my
Thank you
love
so
and
much.
prayers. All right, darling.
Yeah, thank
See
you.
ya. Crypto
Bye.
Kiwi.
Bye-bye.
That's all right, darling. Crypto Kiwi. Just unmute yourself and I'll just, that's it, Ingrid. Thank you, darling. Crypto Kiwi. It's always a strange thing to do when you're doing it the first time. So whilst we're waiting for Crypto Kiwi, let's say hello to the beautiful line of God.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks, lovey. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm trying to deal with the heat, but not very well. But anyway, I have two quick questions. Firstly, would you please private message me, because I have a channel of Kiwis that I've had since 2021, and I would like you to connect with that channel. So that people know how that they can direct message you. I've tried to look for you to direct message you, but I've had no luck. So can you please reach out to me?
I can add you to my list. You're on my list.
That's awesome.
I will
Thank
do
you
that
very much.
immediately afterwards, darling. That's okay, sweetheart. No worries.
Awesome. I just before I ask the second thing, I actually feel very strongly that you're right about the one-to-one. I've thought about that a lot, and I feel that everything's directing us to that level playing field, even playing field. Always has been told us level playing field. So one-to-one is the way to go. Now I'm not sure how to word this next one, but anyway, it's with regard to the quantum voting system. If we're going to be having free travel, well, you know what I'm trying to say. We're going to have a certain amount of liberty to go where we feel we would like to go, as long as we can prove we are who we are. And this is something that they're aiming for, because we used to have free reign of our planet before all this went down, right? So we're going to come back to that eventually. When it comes to the voting system, is this going to be earthwide? Are we going to be able to have our say regarding policy, regardless of the countries that are doing this thing? Is it going to be across the board policy, voting for policy, or is it going to be country by country? Do you have any idea about that?
If you become a citizen of that country.
I had time to come on and Chico's laying down. They had breaking news. They caught the bomber. So I figured that was big to come on for. And then I want to play her because it's an hour and 20. So that's all I'm doing is this video. And then if we get an update, the latest on the bomber. So we're in about 10 minutes, I think, of it. Well, actually, we're an hour to go.
That country, and if that entitles you to vote in that country, certainly. But otherwise, it will be from your country of origin.
Country of origin. Okay. All right. Fine. So thank you very much.
Once again, there was breaking news. They caught the bomber. He's arrested, and JRL was covering it, and the other guy was, and Fox had a clip. But I beat Fox out this time. And let's play this hour, 20 minutes. We're 18 minutes in. This is a big one from her today.
That's okay, darling. No problems at all.
Go on, finish what you're going to say. Sorry, just quickly finish what you were going to say.
I was just going to talk about diplomatic immunity and things like that as well. So again, the identification thing is, as I said, a transition. You said it beautifully. Is that eventually over a period of time, of course, we won't need that as well. So yeah, very, very excited about that. So
yeah. I can't wait either. Okay, thanks for your time, and I'll hear from you
Not a problem
in due
at
course.
all.
Okay,
that's
lovely.
okay,
Bye.
darling. That's okay. I did see a red pill up there. She may have dropped out on my internet, but that's okay. So let's go to, we haven't spoken to the beautiful Jeff for a while. So let's say hello to Jeff in Australia. What's happening, my brother?
The one that we've been waiting for since January 6th, Kim. We finally got him. Here, I'll go. I'll pause here for a minute. He's still alive.
Insight here about here. Huh. Statewide bail bonding.
Everybody else say an idea. Yeah, we're going back and forth.
So you can just see FBI and everybody's. I'm looking more into see if I could find a photo of the suspect here. We're sleuthing. This is kind of like a sleuth lot.
This is big news. What we've been waiting for 4 years, 5 years.
Bail bondsman is dad's. It was rated this morning. Julianne 1278. Huh? State? Why? Thank you for the information.
Okay, we'll go back.
Statewide bail bonding.
And go down to the dialysis for the day. Can you send me a PM? Yeah,
absolutely, Jeff.
No worries.
I can do that. Okay, thanks, darling. Take it easy. Too easy, Jeff. Oh, I'm glad I caught up with you. Yeah, too easy.
Thanks.
No worries at all, champion. All the very best. Love to you all. Bye for now. Bye. Okay, I just saw Red Pill Bill come back up again. That's really cool because I just want to get to a couple of people who don't normally get to talk to first, and then we'll get to the Mr. Salvage. And, of course, we love listening to Colorado Mama as well. So, and it's just, my finger's not hitting it right today. Hold on a second. Red Bill. Okay, Red Pill Bill, where are you? Allow to speak. There we go, Red Pill. And the beautiful Alice. Hello. How are you, Red Pill Bill?
I'm good, thank you. How are you, Mel?
I'm awesome. Even better for hearing you.
I wanted to ask about the 1-to-1 also. So I agree it should be 1-to-1, but my question is, now when you say 1-to-1, say I have a $25,000 dinar, would that mean $25,000? So it goes 1-to-1 for whatever the bill is.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's perfect too. I mean, that works out. That's better than nothing.
She's doing Q&A.
100%. 100%. And as I said, expect anything, because none of this, sweetheart, none of it has gone the way we thought it was going to go. Has it?
I never really invested a lot in the currency, but I spread out with a bunch of things. I dabbled in a little crypto, a little
Wonderful.
currency, and a little metals. So I kind of covered every base.
I'm pleased to hear that, Mr. Red Bill, because hedging against everything is spread your wealth, ladies and gentlemen, not financial advice, but congratulations to you and spreading that out. You'll do extremely well out of the precious metals if you hold them, if you own them and hold them.
So you guys glad
it's a huge
came
leverage
on
on that one.
did this?
Congratulations
There was
on
breaking
you
news
and
from
understanding
the bomber.
it's a revaluation of
And I wanted
everything,
to play
isn't it?
this
It's not
lady.
just about the currencies. So, yeah,
Now,
well done.
a lot of these gurus are talking about like XRP and XLM, that they're going to try and do a buyback at the RV. Do you think that's true, or do you think that's just hype?
That's just hype.
Okay. I figured as such. So I just keep it in my cold wallet.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
That's okay. And no, things happen or things change, then you will know yourself to change with that change as well. If it doesn't resonate with you, push it aside until such time as you're ready to do what you need to do, and you'll do what's best for you. So that's my point. So
Yeah, I don't mind if I have to hold it for 20 years.
beautiful.
I'm going to try
Sounds
to
like a plan
maximize
to
it
me.
all. Well, thank you so much.
That's okay. That's beautiful to hear some beautiful, beautiful people. So let's go with Nicole Lynn. We haven't, I'm not sure whether we have spoken before, but let's go. Nicole, just unmute yourself if you'd like to say hello. And the beautiful Annie McGee's in the house as well. And where's Mr. Selvage just dropped out too? I don't know where he
Got
disappeared
50
to.
minutes left.
So the beautiful Nicole Lynn.
This is
You
a
can
big
see the unmute
Q&A
button.
video.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, there she is. Woo! How are you?
Okay, I'm well. I wanted to thank you so much with all my heart for all that you are and all that you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I truly truly mean that.
No, I can feel that.
Good.
Yep.
My one question
Thank you.
was, I have two friends who have had their identity stolen, and I'm not sure how to direct them into reclaiming all that back.
Okay, so you're talking to the right person.
Yes.
She's from Australia. I don't know how I can drop her link, but I play her every time she comes on. This is her Friday, so like Thursday I'll play her, then Monday I think, Sunday, Monday. But like I can't get the link. Somehow okay can find it or not, but yeah, she's good person.
Yes.
So yeah, it takes a few years. It's like everything in life. It's going to take a few years. So what happens there is, of course, the first thing you do is report it. So report it to the cyber scams within your country. Depending on
about
where
20
you
minute
are.
video, but
so
this one's
and there's
long.
quite a few of them. I
Q&A.
found a different link, although it says it's a government cyber group. It was a different link. Find the one. There's normally 4 or 5 different cyber groups that you can send that information to. I found the best one to help assist was the one that allowed me to put the evidence of what had happened into that cyber gov site. So find the one that actually allows you to put your evidence in. If you're just reporting, if things just sort of go nowhere, that's the first thing. The second thing is, of course, like I said, this is when I identified the difference between the digital ID and the My ID here in Australia. And that protected me more ways than one. It surprised me, but I had no other choice. This is why I say I bit the bullet when it come to the identification side of things, because I thought it was all the same. And when I looked into it, the actual real ID or the My ID that's in the government sector, or it comes under the umbrella of that, I actually might re-record the one that I did for the New Zealand group and go from there. So it talks about a lot of things about identity theft. Is first of all, as I said, report it. Second of all, re-identify yourself in that system, but under the care of the new quantum system. So you'll identify whether it's digital ID and the other ID is two different. They're two completely different forms of blockchain. One is a blockchain and one is just giving your identification to the government sources. So instead of going directly to Social Security or anything to like that as well, I went through My ID and they tried to hack it, but they couldn't hack it. But I had to change my email addresses, of course, or your passwords, driver's license identity. That was not as bad as what I expected it to be. The struggle that I had, of course, was my birth certificates and things like that as well. It is a long, long process. But what I found, and this is scary for a lot of people, and I get that, but I found by transferring everything off, I would go into Centrelink and I would create a new account, and they would still hack it and all that sort of stuff. And I said, well, what difference is it if I go into My ID? As I said, it's an extra protection of umbrella. This was the extra protection, I believe, of the Space Force and things like that as well. So there's many, many layers, and it will take several years. Once the RV actually happens and you actually have some funds, this is why I say banks and private investors and things like that are service providers. Okay, so when the service providers, check them out, find which one resonates with you, and know that they're going to do the holistic thing, the right thing for you as well. So this is when holistic planning comes into place. And once you start that process, then eventually that then moves you on to setting up what you call your family office and your pure law trusts and things like that as well. So once we go through this process of identity theft, it's not just about the identity, it's about protecting after this event as well. So for me, I used it as the journey to find out and have faith in the new system, and it's very, very difficult to do that, but I find faith in the new system so as that I can protect myself once the event actually occurs. So the first thing is to report, change your emails, do this, do that. And then, as I said, once the RV happens, then you can look into service providers and help protect you on the other side of this as well. So it's not an easy task, no mean feat at all. But yeah, we will get through that. But definitely report it and report all. Keep screenshots of everything as well. That was my saving grace. They took one of my phones as evidence. I now have an actual case and a case number. So once you go through that process as well, once it becomes a case, an actual police case, that case then remains open, and you just keep adding to it as it occurs and changes and things like that as well. So yeah, it's not fun.
has reported it, and she's making a case, but the other one hasn't. So I'll double check with her and see
Definitely.
what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And so once you get the case, that does make it was a huge relief for me once I got the case and the case number. Yeah, we just do updates every couple of weeks now, so keeping everyone informed. So yeah, happy
Thank you very
days.
much.
My pleasure, my darling. So let's go to the beautiful Rose Fee. Rose Fee.
We are 45.
And it didn't do it. My goodness. There we go. Yes, we do it. And Starseed and the Carl. Starseed, I'll see if I can. And Starseed, you're up next. Just hold on there, Carl.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, it's Fiona here, Rose Fee.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you for all your information and your dedication to providing us all this information. I'm a busy single mom, so I'm kind of sporadically in and out. But I was wondering with the med beds, if there are any in the Sydney region.
There's many elements to the med beds, okay? They have the upgraded or the transitional, I call them transitional med beds in Brisbane and Melbourne, okay? There is other forms of med beds that are in surrounding areas. These could possibly be become available once brand new hospitals that are being built. I'm trying to remember the ones in Sydney. I have done all my research on that one. So I'll have a look at the different hospitals again, or if you can message me and let me know which hospital is nearest to you, or a hospital that you have seen being restructured or rebuilt. As I said, these are what we call private providers, and the private providers are the ones that actually have, it's not free at the moment. But as I said, let's talk about, Rose. Actually, I just get the feeling you need to hear this message. So this message is just for you and for everyone else. Let's talk about med beds.
Oh, med
These
beds,
are really
guys.
off-world, aren't they? They are virtually from what we call off-world planets and things like that. So the med beds in this particular world that we live in, we have to navigate. And this is why we talk about the 7Ts, the crystallized scanners and things like that as well. So is there some in Sydney? I believe there is. It's whether or not we can find them and if it's going to be enough, so to speak. Because certain star seeds, can handle what we call off-planet theories. Let's call them theories for now. But these are off-planet, and we have to go with what we can go with based upon the information. But the actual structures on Earth itself, I believe, are the 7Ts, the crystallized scanners and things like that as well. So are they in Sydney? I do believe they are. I believe they're in Perth as well, and in Adelaide and in Darwin. And, as I said, the actual celestial chambers and things like that as well, possibly are in universities in Brisbane and Melbourne. That's my understanding. So from what information we can find. It's finding and substantiating it, Rose. But again, we have to go within and find where we need to go for all of that as well. So, yeah.
Thank you.
It's a tough one. But private message me and we can definitely go through the Sydney ones. But as I said, I can't say that they are the med beds that you need or require. What I'm saying is that based upon this earth, so to speak, then the ones that we can substantiate are those ones. And that's what people want. They want substantiated evidence of the med beds are here. Yes, they are. But as I said earlier, not everything is what we thought it was going to be directly. So, but we'll navigate through that, and every situation and every person's personal information, of course, is requires a different form of attention. So, yeah, but they are in Sydney. Okay.
Thank you.
Just in a different form. So the beautiful Starseed.
Hi, Sister Mel. How are you?
Oh, very well, thank you. How are you?
Very, very, very well. Thanks again for your time. I just wanted to follow up. I did go on to the HSBC invite, the lunch that was on the 6th
That's
of
who you
November.
are. Yes, you are.
Yes, that's me. Yeah. I'll give you a quick update. That was really interesting. I was there. I got there half an hour late, and I was really in a great mood. It was just flowing. Beautiful spot, level 36. Got the elevator up there with a private person to take me up. And what table I got to seat on, anyone was already sitting, was on table 7, and right beside at the front there, with the most amazing view, and just before the guest speaker started talking. And anyway, so he starts all of a sudden. I met, the wealth managers, this and that, and two beside me were from HSBC, and there was another older guy, wealth manager, sitting there at the table. Anyway, and then the guest speaker starts speaking, and there was 4 things he wanted to talk about, and guess what the whole topic was about? It was all around Trump. and he said it was Trump around tariffs, Trump around immigration, and more around that, it'll be more around sort of a domestic focus rather than sort of global, and because cheap labour, that potentially might be going away. And you should have seen, Mel, everyone's faces in that whole group were like their jaws were dropping. They were like in shock, like, oh, hang on a minute, globalisation, I can't make money anymore, right? Like, it's like to say, this whole model is changing. Unbelievable. It was unbelievable. I just couldn't believe it. Anyway, the guy kept looking towards me, and I'm the only one smiling. Everyone is in their doom and gloom. It was just amazing to experience. So I was really at my element to witness that, to see firsthand. But no pressure. It was all just flowing. And then after that, the person said to me, "I'll follow up this and that." And I just sent an email to him last week, and again he said, "You've got to do the certificate before we carry on with the next progress." And I always keep thinking, is that still part of the know your client, know your customer? So I think it is. So he hasn't replied, but I'm sure it is. So I'm pretty patient. I'm miles ahead. All right, so that's that part. The second part I was going to share was on the 26th. Got there around 10:19. Me and my son, he's doing carpentry down south. I'm at Sydney, so that's around Ulladulla way. Ulladulla. And we get there, and one thing that's been happening really strangely, there's this really heavy doormat that's sitting on the floor in the front of the home. And guess what, Mel? That mat somehow gets thrown across onto near the garage door. It's about 1 metre, 2 metres, you could almost say. And the night before, well, we were there, 2 nights before, talking, saying, how does this even happen? Like, is it the wind picking this up? Anyway, we're trying to, and it's really heavy, and thinking, how can the air raise it and then throw it? And when it landed, it had it on the same level or the same side. And as I'm talking, I looked up, and of course I'm seeing 3 different starships, because I've been seeing a lot of those the last 2-3 years. And I said to my son, well, there might be the starships are making a connection, like a sign to us. And all of a sudden, this really blew me away. All of a sudden, behind the house, all of a sudden I saw like an electrical
35
red,
minutes.
yellow, quick zap from left to right, almost a rainbow colour.
This is
important. Out. And my first thought was,
it
must be the high beams from the other side of the road, and it must be, highlighting the power lines, and there's just been a power outage. And then I just realised there's no power lines beyond my backyard. That really was phenomenal. That was really amazing. And then after that, the other day, was it on the 2nd, because I do this, I love being down here because it's clear sky. I'll finish off on this. I call it Tuesday, as in Tuesday. Get it? Tuesday?
Yep.
I think that's what it probably means. At 4:25 a.m., I go out, and the moment I get up there, I go up, it's clear sky, Sister Mel. I look up to the left, and all of a sudden, starship right above me. And I get excited, and I always give them a salute and a hi. I, do my little wave and my cross salute. And all of a sudden, the next one behind it, following the same line. And then all of a sudden, the next one. No word of a lie. It just, I've never seen They just kept coming out, and it was near the Orion. And there was a point where up to 4 of them, I've never seen 4 at the one time, and they're all following the same path, heading towards the east before the sunrise. And a total of 27, listen to this, starships. My record before that was 21, way back, but different directions. And it finished around 4:42, which is around, ironically, 17 minutes after the whole thing stopped. What on earth happened there? I thought, I'll write everything down, and I thought, wow, what a sign. I said, something big must be happening. They're getting ready for the Great Reset. And
it certainly is. We saw 5 solid starships last night.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah.
It's a beautiful sign. I just can't believe how fortunate we are to have that connection. They're really guiding us. I really believe that.
100%.
So it's all beautiful. That's 100%. I just wanted to share that with the team, but great news. That's all. I'm feeling really pumped.
Woo! I am loving it. I am loving that. Oh, thank you for that update. And
the last thing I realised too.
Yep.
I'll finish one last part before the protocol 24, and I'm with Whiplash and this that I follow that, and I've invested with that as a proof of concept, as I call it. And it was 24 for the 11th. They said the protocol will be, tidied up after the 22nd. They've just changed it to making it to the 5th of December for it to stabilise. Interesting date, the 5th. So I'm keeping a watch because they give you
on my show today.
You did indeed. You did indeed. So I'm sensing something around there. Yeah. I mean, straight after 27, by the way, 27, 27 is 9. So highest 9. So, yeah.
9 nines, yeah. Completion all the way.
Yep. Have a good afternoon, okay?
Yeah, and I'm starting to really feel that completion coming through. We are still seeing a lot of fundamentals, a lot of countries. All of a sudden, this week's been absolutely a boom shakalaka week. We've got currency such as Fiji. Yeah, we got Fiji coming out with their new gold-backed currencies. That got released the other day. Yeah. Woo, we see Thailand with their new Polymere notes. Yeah, it is all happening. And it is, I can tell you now, ladies and gentlemen, I needed to get some rest last night. I just did not have one bit of energy left inside of me last night, so I do apologise.
We're getting there,
hence
guys.
why we're doing this on a tremendous Thursday, and we're going to finish it off. Actually, we've got I'm going to put 2 more people up, Starseed, just to finish the show off. We've been going for nearly an hour now, so I'm going to bring the beautiful Scott, and we're going to finish with Annie McGee. And, yeah, we've lost a couple of people, but that's okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Starseed, for your introduction to the world of HSBC and things like that as well. That is a fantastic story, and I'm so glad that he was brave enough to go and experience all of that. I will definitely break that down with him a little bit after the show. There's some questions that I want to ask him. So the beautiful Scott and, of course, Annie, you can come up after that, and then we'll have to say goodbye for now. So, Scott, if you want to unmute yourself. It's a little bit of a lag. I apologise, ladies and gentlemen. Dun, dun, dun.
Hi, Mel. This is Annie. I don't know if I've come over the top of somebody else.
Oh, that's okay. It hasn't come up yet, so could have fallen out as well. Sometimes people actually go to hit the mute button and then they throw themselves out, but that's okay. The beautiful Annie McGee, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Well, I haven't had a starship over above me, but yesterday we certainly had a heck of a thunder sound that just about sent me into the sky. So, yeah. Anyway, I've got been pretty bad, and today's just absolutely beautiful sunshine. But yesterday I couldn't believe it. Was the loudest thunder I've ever heard in my life. Anyway, I've got a couple of things I want to ask you about or mention. I have a 16-year-old in my house who's awake and has bought currency and wants to do projects. Probably not on the level of the the Zim community humanitarian projects, but he does want to do them. I was just wanting to know if you've heard anything about younger people going to the redemption centres.
Do they hold a bank account?
Yes.
Well, they can certainly go with you.
And just do a separate appointment.
Do a separate appointment, but yeah, so I can't see why not.
A lot of things are.
We have young Nikola Teslas everywhere at the moment. So again, like I said, if they hold an account and they can hold themselves, why is there? This is my point, Annie, and this is not directed at you personally, but my point being is that why have we restricted ourselves? Why are people putting restrictions? Oh no, that's not possible. I just don't get that. I honestly do not get that. There is no restriction. If you hold an account and you're legally able to hold a bank account, certainly protect him or her regarding, snipers to come in, not snipers per se, but people to come in and try and manipulate certain things. But I can't see why a young gentleman like that couldn't go through the process. If you believe he's willing, able and capable, I don't encourage, you take your 4-year-old, but certainly in certain circumstances, as long as you are there as a protective guardian, I can't see why not.
That was the reason why I was asking, because a lot of things by law, you've got to be 18 years of age, but
you have to be 18, yes. Like he would have a protective guardian, that being yourself.
Yes,
but he could certainly go through the process.
Good.
Certainly go through the process. That's okay. No problems at all.
And I just want to just sort of pass out my thoughts in regards to the one-to-one. My understanding has been that and is that that with the revaluation, the rates will be different, but shortly after, when we go to Jasara worldwide, that's when the one-to-one will come into play. Is that your understanding or not?
Well, it is my understanding, but I'm saying just because we understand that doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. None of us know what is going to happen. So what I always say is that expect the unexpected and know that won't be a second, Scott. We'll be with you in a moment. What I'm saying is that, and I've stipulated this for some time, Annie, and I've actually ended up being correct, although it's been months later and gurus have come out and said, the Zim might be going as a currency. I hear on the grapevine. And as I always say, Annie, there is no restrictions to this, and I think every country is going to be slightly different. It's not to say that, and I've said it about the Zimbabwe as well, the Zimbabwe bond in particular, that bond, although we're going to utilise that funding on that Zimbabwe bond, people go on the hoo-ha that it's going to be one-to-one because that's what it says, the bearer of this bond. Hold on a second. That bond was for the citizens of Zimbabwe. They were the ones that got ripped off. How is it a level playing field if we're going to get that? I since found out that 80% of the bearer of the bond will go back, 80% of those funds will go back to Zimbabwe. Oh, boom shakalaka, Mel. You did it again. That was confirmed to me the other day. Now, the other 20% is still a very good return on your money.
My concern is that people have gone out and purchased hundreds of Zimbabwe notes thinking that they're going to be quadrillionaires because I have hundreds of projects. Well, your intentions are wonderful, but how much money are you going to need? And do you understand the process of running 100 projects? Even your billionaires focus on 5 or 6, not hundreds. Their intentions are great, Annie, and God bless them for putting the money back into Zimbabwe. I love that. I'm not denying people of the dreams and aspirations and the humanitarian care. My concern is that do they fully understand the implementations behind? You can have all the good intentions in the world for your family, for your friends, but it's not what they want or what they need. That's my concern in the humanitarian side. So when we focus on humanitarian, we always focus on ourselves first and foremost. Then you focus on your family, and then you focus on those the projects outside of that. That's just a different opinion and a different perspective, Annie. But the bearer of those bonds were given to those citizens. And 20% of 100 trillion is still a carpload of money. So people can argue and go, she's not right. I don't care anymore about whether it's right or whether it's wrong. If you're pointing the finger at me, I'm not talking to you, Annie, by the way. What I'm saying is that we direct this when something doesn't come to part because we understand it. Those of us who have been in this for 20-something years have been told so many things. And then little Miss Mel comes out and she'll put it in perspective and give you the logic, and they all go hoo-ha. And then 6 months later or 3 months later, then they hear the same thing and go, oh. And I just say to people now, who told you that 3 years ago, ladies and gentlemen? Because I've not faltered, and I am not going to bear up about the people of our understanding. Yeah, we can understand all we want to know, but we still don't know. So that's why it's important to know that even the in-country rates, Annie, those in-country rates are for those citizens in the country. We go to a bank, and you can ask anyone, including the beautiful Starseed. Once he goes through the next step, he can then ask them about the currency rates. And you know what he's going to be told? They are preferential rates. What is a preferential rate, Annie? That is a rate set between the two governments for trading. That's the rate you're going to get. This negotiation bullshit and the high rates that are in country, those rates are for those citizens in country. That does not mean that you're going to get it. The logic behind that is, Annie, is that when you take your currency back, because I've had to do it quite a few times, and to cash that currency back in, you do not get that high rate. There is a percentage cut that they take to cash in your currencies. What makes you think in this day and age, ladies and gentlemen, for all of those beautiful gurus out there who keep feeding the same shit, you take your currency in, whether it be a bank, a redemption centre or an exchange centre, they take a portion and you will not get that rate that's in country. Simple logic explanation. So when gurus come out and say that's what you're going to get, I get very, very irate because we're coming into crunch time. And when you go in and you're being told by the guru 2 seconds before you walk into your redemption that you're going to get $3.47 Iraqi dinar and they offer you only $2, oh, that's not good. That's not good for anybody. And that's my point. Because when you go to cash back in, there is always fees and you never ever get
I'm going to stop.
So I'm interested to hear the stories from people like Starseed. That's why I get very excited.
There'll be an even
when you
hour.
go into the crunch and you take the extra mile like him and I and a few others have,
The banks will tell you, Annie, that they are preferential rates. That is a rate that was set between two government trading parties, and that's what you get. It has got nothing whatsoever to do with the street rate or contract rates. Contract rates are a different thing. The street rate is for those citizens in that country. So let me make that very, very clear, because occasionally I don't get the opportunity to explain that, Annie, because I am tired of the misinformation that people receive. And that's why I start talking about this is not just about a currency reset, ladies and gentlemen. This is to test your frequency. And it's going to test a lot of people. And I want people to be responsible for what they actually blurt out there. So that's coming directly from my banking sources, Annie.
Yeah, I think we've got to remember too, and a lot of people don't even think about it, or maybe don't think about it, is the fact that these countries that are, you know, where the rates are, and it's a privilege for us to be able to exchange our currencies, and that's only happened because of, you know, the last 10 or so years of internet and communication being much greater than it has been in the past. But I don't know if anybody really thinks about the fact that countries like Vietnam and Iraq, and the reasons why they're, you know, they're going to be able to value to whatever within country their street rate, is because for many, many years the bad people of the world, the cabal, have been exploited.
Okay. I think I got a lot out. It was just about over. She did quite a bit of stuff. She's really good. I wanted to get that out today. So I'll be back at 5. I just want to get that breaking news about the bomber, January 6th bomber and stuff. So till 5 o'clock. Have a good afternoon, everybody. Love all. See you soon.